Today we're going to be taking a look at the best hitch options for your 2015 Ford F-150. Up top here we're going to have our CURT. That's going to be a Class 4 hitch. Right below that we'll have our Draw-Tite, which is going to be a Class 3. And then below that we're going to have our eTrailer Hitch, which is also going to be a Class 3. Now if I was looking for a hitch for my F-150, I would probably go with the CURT Class 4 because it is going to have a higher weight capacity and it's also going to have that streamlined look, so it's going to look like it came from the factory. But let's take a closer look at all three of them, look at some of the differences and the similarities. So with a truck, when you're looking at a hitch, weight capacity is definitely going to be a big question. Now all three of our hitches are going to be compatible with weight distribution systems, so we do have that option. Our eTrailer Hitch is going to have a 900-pound tongue weight along with a 6,000-pound gross trailer weight rating. When we use it with weight distribution systems, it's going to bump our tongue weight up to 1,000 pounds and our gross trailer weight rating up to 10,000 pounds. Now our Draw-Tite is going to have the same ratings when we're not using weight distribution, 900 pounds of tongue weight along with 6,000 pounds of gross trailer weight rating. But when we use weight distribution with our Draw-Tite, it is going to bump those numbers up. We're going to have 1,200 pounds of tongue weight along with 12,000 pounds of gross trailer weight rating. Now finally, our CURT Class 4 is going to have the highest weight rating out of all of them. Without weight distribution, we're going to have 1,000 pounds of tongue weight and 10,000 pounds of gross trailer weight rating. Now when we do add our weight distribution system on, it's going to bump that tongue weight up to 1,200 pounds and our gross trailer weight up to 12,000 pounds. Now with all those numbers in mind, I always urge you to check your Ford's owner's manual and never exceed the manufacturer's recommended weight. Now another major difference you'll see is the design of our hitch. Our CURT and our eTrailer Hitch do have a similar design to them, so they're going to install exactly the same. No major cutting or drilling involved. We're just going to have to lower down our spare tire and then have a few bolts put in the frame and bolted up. Now you can see in our Draw-Tite is going to have a completely different design to it and a lot more mounting locations. Now that's where it is going to get a little bit higher rating than our eTrailer because they are both Class 3. However, I will say that our Draw-Tite is a little bit more difficult to install because these tabs right here on the end, they actually mount up to where our bumper mounts up. So it's going to be using two factory mounting points. However, when we do that, we're going to have to support our bumper from underneath as well as keeping it close to our truck so it doesn't fall down so we can get the hitch in place and then replace the hardware. Now since they do install differently, they are going to sit slightly different on our truck. Our CURT and our eTrailer are going to be very, very similar. They're going to sit just inside the very edge of our bumper, and the cross tube is going to tuck in nicely behind the bumper. We're not going to have a whole lot sticking down. Now our Draw-Tite, you can see that it kind of has that angled part coming off of the center section where the cross tube goes out on that round tube design. That round tube is going to sit below the bumper. And our receiver tube is going to be almost flush with our bumper here. So we're not going to have to worry about hitting our leg, but it is going to stick out just a little bit more and sit down just a little bit farther. Now obviously you can see that the finish is going to be different on each one of our hitches. Our CURT is going to have a really high gloss black finish, which is common on most hitches. And our Draw-Tite, it's going to have a semi-gloss. It's still going to be that gloss black color, but it's not going to be as shiny as our CURT. And then finally, our eTrailer is going to have a flat carbide finish to it. So it's going to have that really nice matte finish that's going to hide a lot of dirt, any minor scratches. Finally, there is some minor differences here, like our safety chain connection points. Our eTrailer is going to have a loop style. It's going to be welded into the bottom of the receiver tube. And we're going to have plenty of room to get most size hooks on or off without really having to worry about any kind of interference because it is slightly offset from the hitch pinhole. On our Draw-Tite, it's going to be a plate style, welded to the bottom, and again, plenty of clearance to get most of those hooks in place. And the CURT is also going to have a plate style, but you can see that it's going to be a really robust, beefy plate because it's actually going to be welded to the bottom as well as curve up behind the receiver tube and be welded to the cross tube as well. All three of our hitches are going to use a standard 5/8 pin or locking device to secure any kind of accessory. Now you'll notice that the Draw-Tite has a secondary hole towards the back of the receiver here. Now that's going to be used exclusively for the J-pin stabilization device, which is going to be an anti-rattle device that's made specifically for this kind of hitch. And you can pick one of those up here at etrailer.com. So to sum everything up, If weight capacity and being able to tow the most that you can with your F-150 is your biggest concern, I would go with the CURT, because that Class 4 is going to have a higher rating than both of the other Class 3s. If appearance is a big concern of yours, I would go with the eTrailer or the CURT, because they're going to tuck behind the bumper nicely, and we're really only going to see that receiver tube sticking out, giving it that kind of OEM look. If ease of installation is a big concern of yours, I would go with the eTrailer or the CURT, because the Draw-Tite is going to be a little bit more cumbersome and a little bit more difficult to install, whereas the eTrailer and CURT are going to be a little bit more easy. Now, as far as versatility goes, all three of our hitches are going to be very versatile. Whether we're towing a boat, a trailer, or if you're using it for a bike rack, each one's going to have that 2-inch receiver tube opening and have a wide variety of accessories available. That'll finish up your look at the best hitch options for your Ford F-150.